Today I'm joined here with Elise Joy with World Financial Group Lloydminster, and today we're going to be talking about the financial burden or financial planning around Christmas time. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Christmas is known as the most stressful time of year, especially financial wise. So what is the biggest thing, to start out, what's the biggest thing that you see every year from families around Christmas?
You know, the last couple years have been different than previous years, obviously with this being an oil town. Something I'm seeing now is people are going a little bit smaller and they're talking more about spending time with family and how Christmas can be more meaningful and less about the gifts that they're giving. The big difference that we're seeing is there's actually a decline in how many people are using credit cards for Christmas and are actually paying in cash or debit, which is good news because that means that people are thinking financially responsibly about how can Christmas be more about quality time, and let's not put ourselves into debt over Christmas.
Now, when a family or a couple comes in to see you, what I guess is the rundown that you give them when they're deciding how they want to go into the Christmas season financial wise? Yeah,
so there's a lot of pressure, right? Especially when we're in a community where there's such a diversity of different income earners and sizes of families. I know I have 3 kids myself, and so when they're looking at it, people are realistically, there's a lot of budget setting, and it's how much can we actually afford to put towards Christmas this year. Something I see lots of people are doing now too is they're thinking more about experiences with their families and less about toys under the tree.
And seeing as we're in a very large digital age, the tech and the toys that now kids want are a lot more expensive than when I even was a child.
Yeah.
So how can families go around that in case they have 2 or 3 or more children and they all want these expensive gifts? What would you say kind of how they can get around that but still give their kids the Christmas that they want?
I mean, it's tough, right? Because everybody's financial situation is different. And as a mother myself, you want to be able to give your kids everything you possibly can. But at the end of the day, you also have to realize that it's more than that. I actually asked my kids what they were looking forward to the most for Christmas. And my 7-year-old surprised me the most because that's like an age where they're all about technology and everything. And he's like, I'm looking forward to the food at Christmas time. And I think sometimes we need to just sit back and actually ask our kids, like, what are you looking forward to? Not what do you want? Like, what matters most to you at Christmas?
And so when you get those kind of answers, instead of buying them a bunch of gifts around the tree, what are some ways that parents can give them the Christmas that they love without having to break the bank?
I think it comes down to thinking about like quality time and what there is to do. In Lloyd, there's so many amazing light shows and different things like that. Create experiences with your kids. Last year, I know for myself personally, single mom of 3 kids, Christmas was tight. I made coupon books for my kids and I made limits of how many they could use per week and stuff. And so it was different things from like, today we're gonna build a snowman. This time you get to have hot chocolate. We're gonna go to the movies. And so then they still got to have some of those fun experiences and it didn't cost a lot, and that was their favorite gift.
And stepping away from the kids, because that's always the most important part, but then there's also extended family and then buying gifts for friends and all that kind of stuff. So it eventually does pile up with how many people you're shopping for, because if you have to buy one gift for someone, then you might have to get another gift for another person. So what have you seen, or how have you run into that where people just can't stop that list of people that they need to shop for?
I think there's always going to be those people that are just going to keep shopping. But you're seeing lots of gift exchanges and people saying, let's just get together and have a potluck. And it is more quality time based, which is amazing to see, because if you look traditionally over the years, there has been a decline in how much money people are spending. And then, like I said, we're getting less away from using credit cards and more towards cash, which is awesome.
And I guess really quickly before we wrap up this first part, what I guess kind of is your biggest advice when someone comes in to talk to you about, financial planning or budgeting for Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends when they start thinking about that. The biggest tip I can give is there's this awesome, I seen this last year actually, where you just buy gift cards, like Visa gift cards, every time you're out grocery shopping. Grab $20 or whatever that might be, so that way when Christmas time rolls around, you've already put the dollars out there, and now you can give the Christmas that you want to your family without spending your whole paycheck.
That definitely does add up, and it's always nice to have someone like you kind of guiding these parents on the path of, you don't always have to spend a bunch of money to make a great Christmas. So it's really awesome that, we have advisors like you to help guide us through that.
Yeah, it's fun.